let's go ahead and move on to our game balls. So we each got a game ball to give out to an offensive player and a ball to hand out to a defensive player. So there were a lot of people that balled out. It's a shame we only get two balls each. But Chase, hit me with your defensive game ball first.
Yeah, my defensive game ball is going to Paulson Adebo from the New Orleans Saints. I realize he's playing undrafted rookie, Tyson Badgett, but listen to this stat line. This is something out of Madden. 7 total tackles, 3 pass defense, 1 QB hit, 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions in one game. That's season stats. That is insane, right? The dude has been balling out all year, and finally this is the game where everything kind of clicked. So he's got my defensive game ball. Ball out, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, balled out. The Saints, like you said, obviously against the Bears team, they're still kind of struggle to find their identity without Justin Fields, even with Justin Fields, right? But it's one of those games with you got to win those games, right? So I'm not going to
Yeah.
dock them at all for winning, and especially when you have a player like that takes over a game like that, you have to get the game ball. My defensive game ball, I believe I've given it to him before, but just because one, I love him so much, and two, he deserves it. He's dominating. That's going to be Max Crosby out of Las Vegas. 100% defensive snaps played. How do you do that?
Insane.
I don't know. And 3 sacks. So when he was out on the field, he was making it known, getting to the quarterback. Obviously going up against a terrible Giants team, obviously with the injury to Daniel Jones, all this different stuff. But listen, just balled out. The 100% defensive snap play just immediately for me is like, yes, you get the game ball. Yes, you do. I mean, that's just crazy. Like no matter how, nobody does that. I mean, obviously the only person that does that is the quarterback that plays 100% of the snaps. So to do that on defense, especially whenever you're a pass rusher, right? You're going up against those guys, play in and play out. And especially the fact that you were on the field the majority of the time because the offense of the Cowboys couldn't do anything, so you were always out there. Just as impressive. So Crosby, you get my game ball, and somebody free him. Like, please release him this season, Raiders. Like, please release him so he can go somewhere else or trade him somewhere, whatever. He needs to go to. I'm not even saying this because he's like, against the Raiders, against my Chiefs. Like the Raiders suck. Like I don't care that he's on there. I want him to leave because I want him to be successful. I want him to be able to go on a team and make an actual like impact, in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a meaningful way. And he's obviously not going to get that as a Raider.
Yeah. I Max Crosby game ball well deserved, right? I think he put his name in the hat, the ever growing hat for Defensive Player of the Year. Tied second in sacks, tied first for tackles for loss, 100% of snaps. We've said it a million times. That's just amazing, right? That is insane. And as much as I agree with you on the Raiders, isn't he just the perfect Raider? Like he just looks like the Raiders should look, right? In that video of him,
dude tatted up.
Yeah. The video with him smoking the cigar, partying in the locker room, that is just pure like John Gruden, old school style Chucky Raiders. Like that just gives me chills watching that. But yeah, so moving on to offensive game balls. I'm going with a couple weeks ago I hit an undrafted rookie in Tyson Badgett. I'm going back to an undrafted rookie and Keaton Mitchell, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens. 9 carries for 139 yards and 1 touchdown against a really, really impressive Seattle defense that the Ravens didn't find impressive at all. They just kind of stomped him, and he was a big part of it, right? He had almost more rushing yards than Lamar had passing yards. Lamar threw for 168. He ran for 139. As an undrafted rookie, that's crazy. As a rookie and all, that's crazy. And he would have got more touchdowns. Just Gus Edwards was like a vulture on those goal line catches. They put Gus the bus in and just punched him in at the 1 yard line. But job well done, Keaton Mitchell, running through a defense that really hasn't been ran through yet. So congrats to him. Let's see if he can do it next week. Maybe, they got a really tough defense back to back. So
yeah, he balled out for sure. That's awesome. I love when the undrafted guys get a chance to ball out, and they do. I can't tell if I'm so confused with the Ravens because like watching them, like I'm not impressed, but they've gone up against 2 division leaders in the NFC, like the Lions and the Seahawks, and essentially shut them out. Like those teams played their worst football ever against those teams. So I don't know what it is because like like I see it, but I'm not understanding it because when I watch the Ravens, I don't watch that team and think, oh, these guys are good. I don't see it.
Yeah. All right. So I thought it was maybe just me, and I'm going to stretch it a little further. I think the AFC North in general, as good as they are, I'm watching these guys. And I'm like, oh, these guys are going to lose this game, right? Whether it's the Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, none of them look real flashy or real good until you look back. And you're like, dang, they kind of dominated. Like, what happened? Like, I don't know. The AFC North is just a really weird division. They're all good teams. Maybe that's why they don't all look good. They're just not. The other good teams are like, hey, these are the highlight teams, and then you've got those four teams. They're like, they're good, but yeah, like where's the flash plays? Where's the boom firecracker in the pan? So I agree with you. The Ravens are confusing, but I'm gonna stretch it. The whole AFC North is confusing, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they're all in the playoffs currently, so we'll see how
Yeah.
that shakes out. My offensive game ball is going to. I was between two people because I think Joshua Dobbs does deserve a game ball, but whenever you have a performance like C.J. Stroud, I just can't give it to anybody else. Breaking the single game passing yards record for a rookie, 407 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, passer rating of 147.8. 40 seconds left, game winner. CJ Stroud balled out, completely dominated, proving everyone wrong that he was not going to make it into this league. Shaking off the flack of, oh, Ohio State quarterbacks can't cut in the league. He shouldered all of that and gave him the double bird and said, F you guys, I'm the man. And he dominated that game in what could be the game of the year.
Yeah, definitely well deserved. I mean, and I think you've given it to. I think CJ Stroud has earned one of our game balls before too. So back to back repeat winners, well deserved. Yeah, those two were clearly the two best players this week on football on the defense and offensive side. I mean, it was insane what CJ Stroud did when the Bucks went down. When Baker went down, he led. I mean, Baker. I felt so bad. This has been the story of his career, right? Playing good football, just to have the other team quarterback rise above. Remember that Monday night game that he had against the Ravens, Lamar's pooping game where Baker dominated. Like that should have been Baker's career highlight. And Lamar led a game, led his team down and scored right. That defense gave it up. So Baker's career and CJ Stroud just looked dominant. Like there's nothing CJ Stroud could do wrong.
Yeah, and it's so I mean, we've seen this game like from Stroud before. Like he's played it well. Obviously not that this is just amazing, right?
Yeah.
But it's not, where the thing is like I don't think it's the like it's I think this is more the rule than the exception. I mean, obviously you're not going to throw for almost 500 yards and and 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, right? Obviously, but we've seen games where he's done similar stuff to this before. Like it's not like obviously I know it's only 2 game sample size. Like Will Levis, first game, that is more of an exception than the rule, right? That's kind of a one-off where we've seen CJ Stroud ball out repeatedly through this year. So that's why I'm confident saying obviously this dude is going to be a stud, and I'm happy he's a Houston Texans as my official now hometown team. Obviously, I got a bone to pick though with this because I explain to me this. I live in Houston, Texas. I live in Houston, Texas. When I go to CBS, my local channel, I can't get the Houston game. Instead I got that crappy game of Seattle and the Ravens. How is that? How can I not get my actual local team to watch? Like I would have loved to actually watch that game, but I couldn't freaking watch it. So I just had to watch the highlights on the internet.
Yeah.
So that pissed me off because the Ravens game, we already said that was a dud. So anyway, that was frustrating. I don't know the NFL, whatever that is, they have to. I'm not for sure if the NFL decides where the viewership goes, but it's criminal to not be able to watch your hometown
Hometown
team.
team. Yeah.
It's criminal.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
they gotta figure that out. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's our offensive and defensive game balls. Let us know in the comments who you want to give your game balls to. Give us an offensive player and a defensive player. To anybody we missed, or maybe you just agree with our picks because we kind of nailed it. Some weeks it's just like clearly this is who it is.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a whole lot of debate. Sometimes you can go, oh, this guy or this guy, but yeah, those guys, all four of those guys that we mentioned, balled out, and they deserve those game balls for sure.